You could send me the updates.
Okay, so everybody leveled up to level 2, right?
Yep.
The changes, obviously, in a game like this are really simple. So your hit points basically doubled. Well, not quite doubled for the magic user. That's and your saving throws usually go down by 1, right, as you level up. Sometimes more, but that's the biggest changes. Now, Kaya actually gained an extra spell, so that's her big change. So just so you know, we are level 2 now. There won't be any more skills until level 3. So if we make it to level 3, then you guys can invent yet another new skill, right? But we'll worry about that at level 3. Did you guys see the write-up about what's happened, what you've learned about the country you're in for the last week and what's happened?
Absolutely.
Did you guys see that? Familiarize yourself with that?
I did not.
Okay. So basically, you've learned a little bit about the region, that there's a kind of a war conflict going on between the humans kingdom and the dwarven kingdom, and the elves are in the southern region, and they're really not actively at war, but they are working through subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to try to undermine and keep the conflict between the dwarves and the elves, the dwarves and the humans going. The elves also are led, what's most important to you in the week you've been here is that the elves are led by a religious sect. They have a priest parliament, and they believe that they are destined to rule all of this continent. So and they're kind of the military / police force of the southern region. Well, let's see, what else? What else did I?
Oh, they're the assholes.
Well, maybe not. They could be your allies. Nobody's necessarily good or evil. It just depends on how you want to. It's how you want to work. You don't have to see them as bad. There are some things that make it dangerous for you as an elf, Kaya.
I do not know what happened.
For instance, elves that aren't branded are considered heretics, and they can be executed, or they will be executed if they're captured.
Wait,
horse
will be
owners,
executed if they're captured?
elves, if they're not branded, can be executed in this country, in the southern region, the elves region. Which is why last session that commander wanted to see the brand on your arm. The commander needed to know if you were branded. And of course,
why.
Right.
Can't remember who did it right now.
Oh, that was.
It looks like there's one on my arm.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, that's Fiddlebump. Now that spell only worked on those that were standing there that actually were convinced of the spell. So you can't not everybody's going to see that spell when you're out in the world. So anyone else that comes along would not necessarily be affected by that. So be aware that there is no brand on your arm. During this week, though, you guys have become friendly with the barkeep and the tavern owner, LMB, and he has offered to bring in an illegal brander that could brand anyone in the party willing to get the brand for a price. Okay, so understand that they can get kind of like fake papers, except you're actually branded. Okay, so number one, that's important to you, Kaya, because again, you're an elf, so they see you as a heretic if you're not part of the Un, right? The Un is the religious order. Second, you can't own livestock in the southern region. That's horses, livestock, unless you have the brand for livestock. So be aware that that is also an offense punishable by death, because they control all livestock. So you'll have to make sure, if you do get a brand, recognize you might want to add to that brand livestock ownership. Okay, so those are really the things that are most important to horse owners, animal owners, and of course elves in this region. There was an outcast. So what happened the day of the dragon attack when you were here? And again, I'm kind of paraphrasing what I'd written. I was hoping everybody would read this.
Sorry.
Oh no sweat. During the dragon attack, the treasury of the village was stolen, and they have put up wanted posters to question a gnome named Un Reltor, who they believe believe might have absconded with that chest. And an orc outcast mercenary and his troop came through town during the week to ask questions, take a wanted poster, and they have left. 2 days ago, they've left, obviously in search of this gnome that everybody wants, that they suspect stole this treasury. Also, if you remember I just want to make sure everybody remembers, last session, Gringe overheard the mayor sending word to the bishop in Lake Lunal about you guys, right? About these new outcasts that have showed up that nobody's seen before. So remember, that is also happening. So what have I missed? Did I miss anything there, guys? Can I give you a clue as to what's going on?
I think that covers it.
Okay, good. So we're kind of up to stuff there, right?
I keep losing you guys. So we'll see how tonight goes.
Sound? You just losing the sound? Is that it?
Yeah, I keep losing sound.
Okay. Well, just let us know. Yeah, let us know if we're going off. Let us know. Okay. Okay. So everybody's leveled up to level 2. You have spent a week now getting to know the people of this little village, especially getting to know the barkeep and the owner of the tavern. During this week, let's say you arrived about 7 days ago. In that 7 days, you all have curiously watched Fiddlebump. He does 2 things. He goes out and he sets up the far end, the east end of the village, and he preaches, does his thing that he does, and then he drinks most of the night, and then Fiddlebump goes out, and the next day there's more people around listening to Fiddlebump. And by the 3rd day, there's now a dais he stands on, and on the 4th day he's now got a tent.
Oh no!
On the 5th day, he took the spittoon from the tavern, washed it out, and people are throwing copper coins in it for him. So on the 7th day, Fiddlebump has got a church going.
Oh no!
And he seems mostly concerned with his preaching and his drinking, and we're going to leave Fiddlebump right there.
Dude, nice.
And that is not Andrew's. That is not Andrew's. I'm setting Fiddlebump to be there if Andrew ever drops in to play his character. That'll be kind of what Fiddlebump does. He's going to play the town preacher, right? Okay, so there we go. So that's where Fiddlebump's at, guys. And you 3 now, give me an idea what you wanted to do during the week, right? Is there anything in particular you were hoping to do during the week?
I would hope to spend the week just kind of learning safe places to hide in this town where I could listen in.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so what we'll do is that'll come up during game if we need to. I'm not going to sit here and invent stuff. So what'll happen is if there's ever those moments, we'll just have that. But yes, you would have easily been able to skulk around the village. Matter of fact, people giving you a wide berth, they weren't keeping a close eye on you. So you would have been very comfortable moving around this village, from the huts to the stables, to the bar, to the armory, to the communal house. All of that you're very, very comfortable with, and plenty of places for a halfling to hide and duck for cover. You haven't really heard anything to do, except that you've noticed that there's been some talk about a monster at Lake Lunal, some kind of sea monster at the lake, or some kind of lake monster has been causing problems with the fishery. So fish is not readily being traded.
Sure.
So the fishing has been disrupted in Lake Lunal. Obviously, this orc mercenary and his group came through to take the wanted poster, and they headed out. What else? And of course, speaking, right? So the other thing I need you all to do is roll a die 12 for me, and you need a 1 to 5. Well, not you, Grinch. You already can speak the native tongue, but you've been in this town for now 5 days, guys, listening to this speak. So a die 12 roll for Kaya and Kayla to find out if you've learned how to speak this language.
Okay.
So you're hearing okay, Kaya?
Vaguely. You keep cutting in and out.
Wow. Is anybody else hearing that? Is that me, or is it just maybe...
I was
I'm not
having a
cutting
little bit
out.
of static, but it was real short.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks.
You roll like me.
That's good, though, isn't it?
So Cody, you rolled a 6. Is that right?
Yes, but I believe Crystal can hear now, right?
Right, so Crystal can understand. So Crystal, you actually can understand broken. You can understand and speak well enough this native tongue. You can't read or write it, but you can certainly speak with people and get around this conversation. Same with, of course, with Grinch. He learned at the end of the last session. Still, Kalen hasn't quite picked it up. He's still struggling to figure out this native tongue. Okay.
But he got a better roll than I did.
Yeah, but you needed to roll low, 1 to 5. Yeah.
Low sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So-
high, sometimes low.
So in just Crystal, so in OSRs you generally roll low unless it's an attack roll or a saving roll.
Right.
That's one of the things that's confusing about OSRs is you always want to roll low unless it is a saving throw or an attack score, right? So
Okay,
it's kind
I
of
couldn't remember.
yeah, it's kind of confusing for people who play modern games. Modern games are standardized. You know, they try to make every rule kind of universal. So unfortunately, in OSRs, that's part of it is kind of those idiosyncrasies that come up. So,
Right.
but yes, either way, you can now speak this foreign tongue. Okay.
Nice.
Um,
Did anyone
So it
ever
is
bring
now-
you those arrows?
yes. Oh gosh, yes. That was all taken care of. That would have been taken care of that next morning.
Okay. How many
You would have
did
been
you
the very next morning. You would have all been awakened to banging and pounding. You would have come downstairs and you would have found a chest of the things you needed, some arrows and some water and rations set there outside of the doors. But you would have also noticed that tacked up in 2 different areas of the tavern was the wanted poster of this gnome named Unreltor. So, and then of course you would have gone about your week. You would have seen these mercenaries come in, ask some questions, and go. You would have noticed the mayor, and they're pretty much leaving you guys alone. You've gotten to know LMB, the tavern owner. He has offered to bring in an illegal what's called an Ok Lo, and that is an orc magic user that can cast this brand. Only orcs can cast this magic and create this brand on an arm, and he has an underground black market connection, which he said he can bring that in, but it will cost you something.
Perfect.
You have also been in your discussions around town and with the locals. You found out that to build or to have a deed in this town, you only need set stakes and you only need pay the base commission, and then of course you have to have the funds to actually build, like say a guild if you wanted a guild. Mm-hmm. The only way you will be allowed to have other characters in and out of this game will be to have a guild. So one of your top priorities for campaign here would be to try to build a guild house so you can actually have your other characters available, right?
Nice.
So that's something you want to keep in. So really, you've got a couple of priorities here before we get started. You want to think about a brand to make sure that you're not executed. You want to have a brand, even if you're not an elf, because it makes you legal ultimately, not just outcasts, but legal outcasts. And then you really want to think about building a guild if indeed you want to be able to bring your other stable of characters into the village. So you'll have to find a way to raise money to get that started, right, or to build that.
Great.
Okay. And that's where we're at now. So this morning, you all roused to do your normal routine. And so what do you guys want to do? You just woke up. You kind of have an idea what's going on here. Yes, you do have arrows. They're Gringe.
Perfect.
And you get a note pinned to your door. Both of you have notes pinned to the door asking, scrawled in Elven, by the way. So Kai would, and the gnome, I think the halfling. Can you read Elf?
Me?
Gringe? Yeah, I know you can.
Yeah, I can.
Gringe? So it's scrawled in Elven, signed by the mayor. He wants to speak with you if you have time.
Well, I'll see if I can fit it in.
So he just left a note. Somebody left a note on your door from the mayor that he wanted to see when you have time. Okay. So it's I don't know, 10 in the morning. You guys are up drinking again with your best friend Fiddlebump.
As long as he's buying.
Right. Okay. All right. So
I want to find one of those wanted posters because I forgot to write that name down.
Okay, you got it. That they're posted in 2 places in the tavern. They're posted all over the village. It says "wanted" for questioning, and you can't read this. It's in the native tongues. You had to ask somebody, but it says wanted for questioning, and you can read the name UN apostrophe L or RELTOR, un reltor.
Gotcha.
And it says scrawled behind that gnome.
Okay.
So he is a gnome.
Damn gnomes. Cool.
And Fiddlebump at some point during the week, in one of his drunken stupors, explained to you that he believed the dragon attack was indeed the use of phantasmal force, which is, magic users are capable of this, but gnomes have this ability naturally. They're natural illusionists. He does suggest that either he's got to be a high-level gnome or he has to have something that increased the power of the spell to pull it off.
Sure.
So this was kind of something that Fiddlebump gave to you in a drunken conversation at some point during the week. Okay,
so
there we go.
My note say to come by myself, or am I supposed to bring everybody?
Oh, no, both of you. So both of your doors, again, you, all four of you can't stay in one room. So two of you are in one room and two of you are in the other. And he just tacked these up on both doors. So, no, he's invited the whole party to come talk to him.
Oh, groovy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to go to the next door because I assumed that you guys would have put the poor little halfling off by himself. And I want to knock on your door.
Yes. You're knocking on their door, right, Mike?
Correct.
Not the mayor's door.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So you guys role play. Role play.
All right.
Guys.
Oh.
Which one of us is answering the door?
That one. I wonder if they're awake. Oh.
Opens the door.
And I'm so sorry. What was your character's name again? I don't have it written down in front of me.
Kaya. I
Kaya.
can't remember yours either.
Gringe. Kaya, let me in. It's Gringe.
Come on, Gringe. Come on in.
So, looks like you guys hadn't opened your door yet. We do have, looks like we've been invited to the mayor's house.
I just completely lost you again.
No. Yeah, it looks like we've been invited to the mayor's house. We should probably head down there. I don't know that we have anything else going on today.
I don't think we do.
Unless you guys want to do something different. We could bring in that criminal if we could find him.
Or we could go take down that monster in the lake.
True that. So, should we talk to the mayor and then see what he has to say and then choose after that?
Maybe we could talk to the mayor and then go take down the monster.
Works for me. I'm a little on the broke side, so that sounds wonderful.
Is Cody still with us?
I
hope
mayor
so.
Can give us the reward.
He's still online. Cody. No, Cody.
Hello.
Cody, you have mute on.
Nope.
Hello?
Either he's muted himself or he's ran away.
Yeah, because didn't DC. So we're going to tag him along and head for the mayor's house.
Okay, so again, it's technically it is his office is in the
right.
Community house. So it's only you come out of the tavern, you turn, and you see again. It's pretty early. There's some movement around here. However, as you come out,
I hear you, but you can hear me.
Okay.
Perfect.
So you know what's going on, right, Cody?
Yeah, I was agreeing with him. I said, "Let's go."
Sorry, man.
Okay. That's all right. Okay. So as you come out into the large well dominates the center of this village, large community well where people come to get water and etc. So in the mornings, you usually see people coming down and getting their buckets of water and then taking them back. As you come out, you notice an elf, two elves actually, that are crossing over to the stables. They are garbed in the similar robes of the elves that are local here, the local garrison, but they're in red robes, and they have a flag that sticks off the back of one of their horses. And they climb on these horses and they spur them into gear and they take off toward basically up the way you came down, up the this would be to the south west, So they head out kind of the way you ran from that large field down here to engage in the battle with the dragon. They're headed that way, and in just a couple of minutes, you see them disappear into the deep grass up over the edge of the rise, and you see the little flag disappear into the grass, and they're gone. So to the right is basically the arms and weapon shop, or it's basically a general goods store, but he hangs on the front this panel that has arms and like cross swords, your traditional signage for this kind of establishment. And then again,
shoppy.
Yeah, right. Ye old shop, right. And then the next building over is the communal house, which of course Grinch had snuck up on and kind of got a peek in the door when he followed the garrison commander in there last week. Right. And you guys have all wandered around this village in a week, right? You've been in and out of these shops. You've watched. You've talked. So none of this stuff is necessarily secret to you. And you know that the mayor basically sits at a large desk as you come in the big door. He sits at a large desk there, and he always has a couple of assistants there to run errands and to make notes, etc. They're all elves, by the way. The mayor's an elf. His name is Un Arno. And you don't know, I mean, you know their assistants by sight. You nod to them, things like that, but you don't know the names of the assistants. So as you make your way down the street and you come to this, and again, he opens these doors up when he opens business. So the doors are always open unless the weather turns or there's some other problem in the village. Like when they want to burn it to the ground because he's passed the tax or something, right? So anyway, these doors are pinned open, and as you come around and start into the he jumps up, and remember, he's a short. You've never seen an elf quite like this. Most elves are tall and slender and graceful. This guy's a short, bald little elf, right? He's an elf that obviously that missed that portion of the gene pool, right? Right. He's not quite that elf, and but he is, yeah, right. But he is really personable, great charisma, and well spoken. He comes around the desk and greets you with their traditional salute, which is basically hands on their chest, and they bow. And then he waves with both hands. Come in. As you guys come into his little parlor there.
Absolutely.
He snaps his fingers, and both assistants pull chairs up, and they drag 3 chairs up and set them there. And he asks you to be seated. Please, sit down.
So I'll try to sit as of the seats that are presented as far away from him as possible.
As far away from him?
Right, just kind of slink down in my chair, try to not draw attention to myself.
Okay.
Is he speaking Elvish or what?
He is speaking common. So again, you're hearing grunts, and you can kind of tell he's being very open, smiling, and so you can tell from his gestures this is not doesn't appear to be a hostile invite. Right.
Okay. I was asking because I wasn't sure if I could understand this or not. That's why I asked. But okay. Let's go. I sit down too.
Okay. Yeah. So he then stands leaning kind of back on his desk in front of you, but he is standing. And again, you notice he stands about 5'8" or so. He's not short, but he's not like your average elf. So he's standing about 5'6" maybe. But again, what's most striking about him is he's bald and he's heavy. He's clearly enjoying the good life as the mayor of Phillipston. Are you all enjoying your stay?
Oh yes, it's been very nice.
Good.
Yes, very nice.
I must ask, you're aware of our trouble with the treasury having been stolen?
Yes.
Yes.
In your time here around the village, have you heard of anything strange? Have you found out anything about this Unreltor? Anything at all that might help our investigation?
Nothing yet, unfortunately.
That's a sad thing.
Yes.
We are not going to do well when we have to pay the priest the priest parliament their tithing, and of course we can't purchase foods and items for the villagers. It is a problem we must rectify, As you may have noticed, Sata, the mercenary who came in 2 days ago, he is in, and he is going to try to collect that bounty. But my concern with Sata is Sata's done this before. The problem is Sata doesn't come back to us. He either keeps the bounty for himself, or he takes the bounty above my head to the commander at Lake Unal. And to be frank, I want that man brought back here, and more importantly, I want that money brought back here, and I will pay you handsomely to do so if you can help stop Sata or beat Sata to Unrel Tor.
Well, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I will even waive the building fee if indeed you want to build here in our fine village. We would love to have upstanding citizens here in Phillipston,
well,
especially mercenaries, especially those who can do the things that we need done in the southern country. And you'll find among all of the they very much want treasure hunters. They very much need mercenaries to do tasks for them. It's good that you're branded there, Kaya, because if you weren't, things could be very, very dangerous for you here in our region. So I'm happy to see you're branded.
Yes.
Is there any way I can persuade you?
Yes.
Can I persuade you to do this for me?
You persuaded me just by talking. Let's go.
I think
now
that you should give us any information you might have on this Sata.
Exactly.
We can try to track his footsteps and get ahead of him.
Yes, Sata. I don't know if you know. Sata travels with it. His name is Arvel.
Dwarf?
Arvel. And he travels with an elf named Mexis and a human named Norman. They are not branded outcasts. They are formidable. Sata is a formidable leader of this small band. They are very successful bounty hunters and treasure seekers.
Seems that way.
My biggest concern for you is, I don't know if you saw the two centuries from Lake Unal. They were garbed in red robes. They just left shortly before you came in.
Yes, we may have seen them.
They were here to announce that the commander of Lake Unal will be here tomorrow, and he is going to set up, and he is going to begin to investigate. Please forgive me, but I sent word of your arrival last week to Lake Unal, and I'm afraid he is now coming to investigate not only you, but the fact that we have been robbed. So I must take responsibility for that. That is my doing. I in the heat of the battle, in the heat of the theft, I felt that the authorities should be notified that we have both new outcasts and this theft. So please accept my apologies for having sent word of you. He makes me incredibly nervous. He wields. He is the sole authority in this region, Lake Unal, Sanctuary City, and our little village here, Phillipston. So understand when he comes here, I have very little say, very little power. It could be incredibly unsettling. So if you have any undue issues, you might want to make sure you've dealt with those, or keep those quiet, or things could get unfortunate for you.
Hint, hint, hint. No, well, thank you for being straight with us about it. We appreciate the honesty. And I think we should find a way to make our way out of here so we can get enough money to get you really branded.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So you're still, are you leaving? You're getting up and leaving. Is that right? Or are you sitting? Okay. So as you start to get up, he does stop and says one more thing. Excuse me, one more thing. Sata has friends here in the village. There's somebody that I'm certain he's talked to, somebody that he has on the inside here, somewhere in the village, that probably gave him information. So you might start by trying to find that informant. There are a couple of people here in this village that very well could be could be, Un Joel. He plays the dice game at the tavern. Un Joel is, I think, somebody of interest that might have talked to Sata. And then there is an elf guard who is part of the garrison. He is the dark-haired, taller elf, the tallest gentleman. You wouldn't know his name, but it is Un Erso.
Okay. Wonderful.
And I do suspect they have direct contact with Sata.
Well, let's go check them out. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Please recover our treasure.
Absolutely. And we bow our way out.
Mm-hmm. He returns the bow, the posture.
Beautiful. Cody, I'm sorry. What was your character's name again?
Kalen.
Kalen and Kaya. How could I forget? So I want to take a moment as we're walking away to fill Kalen in on what conversation he just missed. Just kind of bring him up to speed as well, since he didn't understand.
Okay, good. So Kalen, now you're fully aware of exactly what was said.
So should we split up? You guys.
I agree. I think we should actually. There's the
2 men to investigate.
Yeah.
I think I should head to the tavern and see what it'll cost to get me really branded.
There you go.
Great. Okay.
Go for it.
And Gringe, what are you going to do?
I'm going to head. I'm going to search out that elfin guard. I'm going to go look for Un Erso.
Un Arso, the elven guard. Okay, now
sneakily as I can.
You got it. And the one thing, Gringe, you did learn, all of you would have learned from just being not yet heroes, but you've been adventurers for a while. You realize the garrison here is very small. 8. It is a group of 8. They generally have shifts. They break those shifts up into 2 elves through the night, and then they have the commander. So roughly 9 elves are all this garrison has, and they all live in a large barracks. And that large barracks, again, we described last session, is on the east side of the village. It's the lone building, but it's about 100 yards away, 300 feet away from the main village. Right. And they also keep their horses there in case they ever need to get on them and spur and ride. So there's only about 9 elves that are actual police or sentries here. Okay, garrison. Okay. And of this guy, clearly he's the tallest elf in this garrison. Dark hair, almost jet black hair, and he wears it very short, cropped tight. But he wears one long ponytail that he wears out of his robes. So you have definitely, you know who this guy is from just the description of him. Okay, so that is Un Arso, right?
Perfect.
All right, and then Kalen. So what are you doing?
Well, I was actually going to ask if I could roll to see if I can try to figure out this language again first.
The language?
Yeah.
No, I do that at the end of every game day. So, like tomorrow morning, you would roll to see if you've picked up any of the language. So I let you do that every day of game day time, right?
All right.
Okay. So you will get another chance, hopefully in this game, to roll if we get to another day. Okay.
Well, then I'll just follow Gringe to find this guard.
Okay.
In case he needs backup.
Okay. All right. So Gringe, as you make your way kind of stealthily across this large open area, past the large well, you realize clanking behind you is Kalen. He's following suit right on your heel, all right?
Is he doing his own theme music?
Yeah, right. He's got his own theme music. That's right. Okay, and Kaya, so you only have to go a couple of doors down and into the tavern. So we're going to have to break this up. So we're just going to do it. I'll just have to come back around to you guys. So we'll go to Kaya first. So Kaya, you come down and you go back into the tower. And sure enough, as like every single day, there's Un Joel at the bar. His partner that he generally plays this dice game with is not there, but he's there, and he's already nursing his first L, and the barkeep is at the far end of the bar, doing something, cleaning or something. He's at the other side of the bar, the far left end of the bar. This Joel.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
I guess I'll go up and talk to him, but I was gonna buy him an ale first.
Okay.
Just add to it.
Okay. So you approach the bar, and the bartender notices you. And you're coming to the bar, obviously. He comes down, and he says to you, "Good morning, Kaya. How have you been? Have you talked about what Ellenby has spoken to you about? You know,
I have.
So have you made up your mind as to what you want to do? We need to get word. Okay. Good. And do you have the gold? You know, the brand is 20 gold pieces. The brand, the horse brand is going to be 25 gold to get the additional 5 gold for the with the livestock brand.
Okay. I don't know how much gold I have.
4.
Not quite 25. Close, but
You
not.
have 4 at the moment.
4 at the moment. Huh?
We better go find this guy.
I mean, you know, you're free now, Kai. Again, this is also you're free to. I mean, nobody says he has to know that. You can obviously attempt to bluff him, or just not give him that information. I mean, you can say yes, I have it. You know, you can lie.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I don't
True.
know how often. You know, in a lot of the newer games, you have a skill check. Well, in OSR, you know, we don't always make a skill check, but you're certainly free to give only the information you want to. So.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just kind of hopefully successfully bluff it and say I have it.
Okay, so he looks and he says, "I will let Ellenby know, and we will have the Un Aklo in here. Say 1 in the morning. Is it 1 a.m.? And we will lead you. We will lead you to a safe place where he can do that. Okay. So tonight, 1 a.m. in your room. Okay.
Okay.
And then he says, "So can I get you something to drink, Micaiah?"
An L for the what's his name? Forgot his name.
That's all right. You can just point to this guy at the end, right?
Point to him and then one for me.
He kind of leans back and raises an eyebrow. Kyle, you don't want to talk to Joel. All right, fine. That'll be a copper.
Tosses the copper to him.
Okay, and he sets up an L for you, and Joel, of course, is watching you as you talk to the barkeep. He's standing there. He's watching everything you say and do. And then, what do you want to do with that L? And then he walks away. The bartender walks away, by the way, and goes back to his job at hand, his task at hand.
I somehow want to give it to him, and strike up a conversation with him.
He takes it and looks at you and says, "You are the new outcast. Kaya, is that correct, Kaya?"
Aye.
So what gives? What's with this L? If you think you're gonna scam me in the dice game, you're crazy, lady. I'm very, very good.
Oh no gambling for me.
Then
I'll
what is it?
up to Kylan.
That's the big fella. Yes, I would like to get his copper. He tried to buy the table last week. Okay.
Yes, he's not very intelligent with that.
You know, that's exactly who I want to play dice with. Very good. Thank you for telling me that. And thank you for the drink. Now, what can I do for you? Yes, he chugs this drink down. You notice he was nursing his, but he in one gulp takes down the L you gave him.
Okay.
And slams it down, and then rips off a belch.
I know what he's playing at.
Who?
That's just the problem. Oh crud!
Well, think about how you want to approach.
I'm gonna think about how I want to approach him.
Okay, think about that, and we'll go over to Gringe. So you guys are making your way across this field, and again, you notice that there are 6 horses there, as there generally are at this hour, because there's usually only 2 elves on patrol around the agricultural fields, right? So, and you've been in this village long enough to pay close attention. These guys do their shifts, and they generally ride around the perimeter of the entire, not just the village, but the whole farmland instead. And it generally takes them, about an hour to do their full rounds. And you do know that all of the elves carry a horn that allows them to sound alarm if there's something amiss. There's also villagers. There's horns that hang on posts dotted around the entire agricultural community. So you'll find posts with a horn hanging. So villagers from all parts of this territory can run and hit that horn. So they feel they're pretty comfortable, obviously, with just having elves on patrol, 2 elves on patrol on horseback as a normal police force, kind of. Okay, so clearly not a whole lot of bad happens in Phillipston regularly, probably. Okay, so that's something you do know from the week you've been paying close attention. And as you approach, you notice that the horse generally that Un Arso rides is there. And again, most of these guys have a horse, their own horse. Let's make a wisdom check, Kaylin and Gringe, excuse me, Grunge. Pearl Jam. Make a wisdom check, Pearl Jam.
Okay, so can I add modifiers to this little roll bot we have?
Yes. So if you have like a +1 wisdom.
-1.
-1, right? So what you want to do is, and you want to roll under, so technically it would be a plus. So you would subtract that from your.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's all right. That's another thing that's strange about this. You need to roll under, but your modifier is going to be a negative. So it's really old school. Is that under? I don't know what is your wisdom? I have it here.
5. No, we're going to say I missed.
No, we're going to say I missed. How about you, Cody? Did you roll?
Not yet.
Okay. There he is. He's rolling. He's rolling. Okay. Nice. He had to be nice. He had to be under his wisdom. I hope not. Maybe not. All right. So Cody. Let's see. Your wisdom, Cody, is Caitlin. Oh. No.
That's a mag. Yeah, that's the exact mag.
Let's see. Where are you at? Oh no, you made it. You made it. Okay, so Cody, one of the things you have noticed over the last week is that the brands on the livestock owners and the horse owners, the brand on their arm generally matches the brand on their livestock. Okay. Okay. So as you're approaching, again, you know roughly the horse that Un Arso rides, and you are certain of that, Kaylin, because you have noticed, again, the brands on the livestock owners always seem to match the brands on the horse or the livestock, as well as the mad on their hands. So you are now about 25 yards from this barracks. As you slowly, I'm sure obviously you're kind of being sneaky, right? So I'm assuming you're moving cautiously.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And in fact, since is Kalen, do I know if Kalen's on to me? Because if he's not, I'm going to try to use him as a distraction since he's clinging around.
Kalen's following you right behind you. I mean, he's going with you, so he's just stomping around right behind you. So whatever stealth you think you have, Kalen is
just erasing.
He's squashing.
So I quit. I kind of just start walking next to him.
Okay.
All right. Well, so much for that idea.
Okay. So you're approaching this barracks, and you guys come up right about you're about 4 feet from steps that go up into the barracks. The barracks are up off the ground by about 4 feet. They're on like stilts, right? And they're wooden barracks. These things have been built by the garrison. They have shuttered windows. They have grass tops. And I'm getting a big echo. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Cody, I think you got an open mic thing going on, man.
And of course, again, the horses are all tied up in front here. So now you're standing right basically at the foot of these steps that take you up into the barracks.
Okay. Well, Kaylin, do you think we should just go inside, or should we try to figure something else out?
I think we should go inside and ask to speak to him.
The forward approach. Why not?
Okay, so you guys make your way up these steps. Who's leading? Does it matter?
He's got.
You guys. Okay, so Kaylin. Okay, so Kaylin, you go up these steps and just a couple of steps up, and the door opens inward, and you push this door open, and again, you see 2 or 3 elves that are like getting dressed. They're getting suited into their armor. You see another couple at the far end. They're trying to sleep, and so when you come in, they roll over to face away from the door. You see others through a doorway on the back side of this. They're obviously in a room where they're cleaning up, or they're using, their facilities, or they're doing something in that far back room. And as you glance around, you notice one of the elves in the just to your 11 o'clock of you, right? Just 11 o'clock. Yep. He's just sliding his robe on, and the robes. These guys wear a kind of a sand-colored uniform robe, right? The others that rode out of town earlier were in red robes. These guys wear a sand, kind of a grassy sand colored, and they pull this over, and you see he's pulling this over. He's already got his armor. He pulls this over. And he looks at you, and one of the elves turns to you. That's dressed already. He comes up. Is there a problem? What's going on?
This isn't Arso, though.
No, Arso's watching you. You guys see him immediately when you come in, and he's just put his robe on. This is another shorter elf, blonde, and he just steps to you like he's maybe not in charge, but he's certainly confident enough to step to you and ask what's wrong.
That's engaged us.
Yes,
I want to throw on the best smile I can, like we're old buddies. You look him square in the face and say, "Well, hi. Yes, I was hoping to speak to Arso."
Arso, oh, he's there, and he just points and waves his hand kind of nonchalantly in Arso's direction, and then he goes past you, out the door, and you see him go down the steps and off toward the looks like toward the village.
Excellent.
And Arso kind of cocks his head and looks, and he pulls his robe down, makes sure it's not wrinkled too much, checks his sword hilt under his robes, and then he approaches you. And again, he's probably 6'2". This is a big elf, not real stout, but again, his frame meets his height pretty well, right? Sure. He seems to be proportioned well. And he looks down at you, and then he looks over at Kaylin, and he says in the common tongue, "Yes, what do you need?"
Yes, Unarso, yes. I was told by a source of mine that you might have information about Unreltor. Before you get upset or anything, I'm not trying to impose, I'm not trying to assume or associate you with anything. I would simply like any assistance you may have to offer in apprehending this horrible, horrible villain.
Let's go outside to talk about this.
Of course.
And so he walks right between both of you down the steps, and he motions you away from the horses around the corner of this barracks. So this would be the right side or the north side of the barracks. And then he, who told you that? Where did you get your information?
Well, we've been. You've probably seen us around. We're new in town. We've been here for about a week.
Oh, I know who you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have no doubt you guys do an excellent job. Well, I've been hearing. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Weren't you talking to Sata the other day?
Yes, I know Sata.
Yeah. Good mercenary, from what I understand.
Oh yes, he's done much for this village. He does much for all of the southern country.
Excellent. What a good man. I'd love to meet him one day.
Yes, you might not want to meet him, but yes, I talked to Sata. Sata's come and gone many times. We're friendly.
Right.
Who told you that I knew the gnome, Reltor?
Didn't you tell Sata that?
I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't hear you. That broke up.
Oh, sorry. Didn't you say something like that to Sata the other day? Trying to lay it on as smooth as I can.
Yes, okay. Yes, I saw the gnome. He was around the village early that day. I saw him. Yes, so, and yes, in my run to get my weapons to fight the dragon, I saw him. I saw him leading by the north. Excuse me, by the south. Not south. East. Excuse me, the east.
That's the one.
Well, no, really. I'm trying in my head get my map straight here.
Oh.
From where the character would be standing, the east path toward the ocean is
okay.
what he's. But I thought nothing of it. Sata asked me. Of course, I told him.
So, did you know Reltor before then, or just happened to notice him?
Listen, Sata has offered me a percentage of the take. What are you going to do?
Well, I'll do a couple things for you, and I drop the cheeriness right out of my tone. The first thing I'll do is not inform any of your superiors that you're on the take. The second thing I'll do is give you half of what he was going to give you.
It's your word versus mine. Who's going to believe? What are you anyway?
I'm a halfling.
You are that. You are a half man. What can you do? Who's going to believe an outcast? You're not even branded. I will take that chance.
Okay.
Now I have my errands to do.
You should get to work.
You can shove off. And then he actually turns to go behind the barracks, and so instead of coming back around to the front of the barracks and the horses, he goes behind the barracks and goes along the back wall of the barracks.
Interesting.
What would be the west wall of the barracks?
Right.
So he's going away from you and circling the long way around to his horse.
I would like to turn to Kalen and just hold up my hand, trying to signify give me a minute, and I want to tail him.
Okay. So how are you going to any particular way you want to describe that, or do you want me to describe that?
I would like to just stick to the shadows and quietly as possible. Try to keep him within eye shot.
Okay. So obviously the best way to do that would be to crouch under this thing that's 4 feet high. Remember, this thing's on stilts. It's 4 feet off the ground.
Right.
So you just duck under it and walk right along behind him by a couple of steps underneath this thing.
Right.
So he walks down. Remember, this thing is pretty large. It houses it can house up to 9 or 10 elves, and it's got another piece on the back side that they obviously do. It's like a kitchen or something. And so this thing goes on about 40 feet. 50 feet, and then he turns around, and you stop, and you watch him turn around that corner, around the other, and then he goes around to his horses. You just watch him walk by his horses, and he walks slowly by the horses.
Okay.
Almost as if he's you can't tell what he's doing. You're just watching his feet, his legs, as he passes by all these horses very slowly. And then you see him step into the stirrup of one, and up onto the horse, and throws his leg over, and you see the horse back out.
Shoot.
Anything you want to do while I'm describing this?
I would like to get closer.
Okay. To what end? I mean, so you can easily get closer.
Oh, he's getting on his horse. Okay, I was thinking maybe
he's
like
got
hiding a message or leaving a dead drop. Or...
So he's just mounted his horse.
Okay.
But he did walk along all the other horses very slow.
I want to check as soon as he's good and gone and paying attention to what's ahead of him. I want to check the other horses.
Okay, so he spurs this horse, and he's off, riding toward the east path, which takes that heads down to the bay, to the ocean, to the port. Okay,
he's off
so he's headed.
Sata.
He's that way now. Let's go ahead and break there for you, Grange, and we'll go back to Kaylin. Of course, you're waiting there. Let's go back to Kaya. So, Kaya, have you had a chance to decide what you want to say to Unjoel?
I'm going to try a slightly sweet, flirtatious tone.
Okay.
And see what kind of information I can pull out of him about... Oh, what was his name? It was Sorrelto?
About the gnome or about Sata, the mercenary?
Sata.
Okay.
Mercenary.
So you can go ahead and just say what you want to say. You don't have to be flirtatious, right? If you're,
I don't know. I don't even know what I want to say. I'm going to directly ask him kindly.
Okay, and so go ahead. What do you want to say?
I've heard you're acquainted with Sata.
Sata, yes, great man. We go back a long way. You know, Sata always takes care of me when he's...
Oh, how so?
Oh, he gives me food. He gives me coins to play the game, and he's very understanding for the services I provide for Sata.
Okay, what services do you provide Sata?
Oh, and you notice as he's talking, he's a little tipsy, right? He's a little drunk, a little slurred. Oh, well, I keep, and he points to his eye, and he taps his eye. I keep an eye. He taps his cheek right under his eye. I keep an eye on things around here for Sata.
Okay, so what do you know about Orelto? Or Unwelto, or whatever?
I only know that Arso knows Unrelto, and I told Sata that. He didn't seem too disturbed by that fact. Matter of fact, he paid me handsomely. He's given me enough copper to be in gaming and Eld for quite some time. And all I had to do was tell him he knew Unosar.
Buys the elf another ale, just to get more information out of him. The drunker he gets, the less I'll remember.
Yep.
Okay. And of course, the barkeep slides that down to you. He takes it, gives you a big smile. You notice he's got, basically his teeth are rotten. He's got one okay tooth, and the rest are gone or rotten. And he gives you a big smile, and he slurps this down again in one shot, slams it down. Everybody's being good to me this week. It's wonderful. You know, I might just play some dice with you after all, there, lady.
Oh, no. You wait for Kaylin to get back, and you play with Kaylin.
Oh, Kaylin. The big guy, yeah, the big dumb one. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You play with him.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And he's kind of stumbling around now, and he says, "Excuse me, I have to see a man about a dog." And he stumbles, falls over the chairs, stumbles past the table, and he stumbles out of the front of the tavern. And you see him take a hard right, out of sight.
Can I, follow him, or is that,
Sure, of course you can. Absolutely, you can follow him. So, you're going to follow nonchalantly, or you're just going to stalk him right out? Okay, so you let him get 5 or 10 feet ahead of you, and you just kind of turn like you're going to leave normally. The barkeep says, "Kaya, 1 o'clock, 1 a.m." And then he...
That's my head.
Okay. And so as you exit, you see him go around the side of the tavern, and then you follow him down and around. You see him go down behind the tavern. He turns another right and goes behind the tavern. And as you come to the corner there and peek around, you see he's relieving himself in the bushes. He's taking a leak.
Oh, ew.
And he's wobbling. He's he's clearly a little drunk. He's been probably drinking all night.
Okay.
Anything you want to do?
Avert my eyes and wait to hear him continue walking.
Okay, so you avert your eyes, and then you kind of hear this thump. And as you look back, you see he's laying passed out on his back. He's just lying there, out cold.
Okay. Because I am me, I am just going to leave him there.
Okay.
He earned it.
And as you turn and come back around to the front of the tavern.
Not my
problem. That's an SCP right there. Somebody else's problem.
That's right. It's somebody else's problem. So as you come around the front of the tavern and you look across, again, about 100 yards to the barracks, you see both the halfling and Kaylin talking to an elf there on the back corner.
Okay.
Nice.
And as you approach, walking across this field, you see the elf turn on his heel and walk away from them, and then you see this halfling almost vanish from sight, and then you watch as he emerges from the other side, walks slowly past the horses, and then he gets on the horse, spurs it, and he takes off to your left, headed toward the ocean. Okay, so Gringe, as you're standing under there, you see him ride off. Kaylin, you see walking across the open area toward you.
Do I still have line of sight?
On what? The horse?
On Arso?
Oh, yes, you do. Yeah, as you watch him right away, yeah.
I want to shoot him off his horse.
Okay.
I don't want him giving us up.
You've got a +2 to hit, plus another +2 for short range.
Right.
Remember, so you get 2 shots round in a white box. So pretty serious stuff here.
So D20 +4 if I'm adding that right?
Correct. Yes, D20 +4.
Looks like a 16.
Okay, that's a hit. 1d6 damage.
Right.
And it is a short bow, correct?
Yeah, so -1.
It is a -1, yeah, okay.
First shot is 3 damage.
Okay.
Second shot, only rolled a 10. Damn.
That does just miss. However, you see him, it hits between his shoulder blades, and you see him pull up. I mean, he wasn't in a full gallop. I mean, he was just trotting along.
Sure.
And he pulls up on the reins, and the horse whinnies as he kind of comes up. You see the horse spin around as he tumbles off the side, bang, into the dirt. You see dust and dirt kick up around him as the horse then kind of kicks away from him, and the horse then just kind of steps away, walks away as he lays there. However, you see he's moving around. He's trying to stand up with this arrow stuck between his shoulder blades.
That's awful. Gosh. Say, Kaylin, we don't want him to get to Sata before and give us away.
Right. So he's about 28, 32 yards from you, and he's just starting to get to it, and he's trying to, at the same time he's trying to stand, he's now kind of in a crouch on both feet as you're, and he's trying to reach to his back like he wants to grab this arrow and try to get it out of his back, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not close enough to do anything for that, am I?
Well, you saw it. I mean, you were watching him ride toward the ocean, then all of a sudden you see the horse reel up, you see it spin around, you see him topple off, and you see the horse then just kind of wander away. And you see him staggering around. He's too far for you to see that there's an arrow in his back. You just see him acting funny. But yeah, you're watching this, and he kind of stops you. You kind of stop in your tracks and go, huh, what the hell's that about? Right? Okay. And of course, Kaylin would have heard him ride off. So Kaylin would have turned to watch him ride off, and you would have seen this, Kaylin, all of it, the arrow, everything. Now, what I want is Kaylin to make a wisdom check for me, and I want Big Mike to make a wisdom check for me. Not yet for you, Kaya. You're not close enough to discern this yet.
Okay.
Okay, Cody made it.
Nope.
Oh, not quite. Big Mike, not quite. Okay, so Kaylin, as you watch him kind of stumble around, and he's trying to reach the arrow, but you realize, you kind of connect the dots. You realize he's stumbling towards something, and it's a post sticking out of the ground with a horn on it.
Oh no! He's going for the alarm.
So, what do you guys want to do? He can easily beat you to this thing.
Oh, sure, he's there.
There's definitely an option for a foot race here. There's definitely that opportunity if you want to take it.
Shoot him again. Seriously, put him on the ground.
I'm gonna say, if you're not gonna chase him down, I'm shooting again.
Go for it. Again, he's not engaged in combat. He's clearly in pain and he's trying to reach this horn.
Oh, okay.
So I will give you one shot, and then I'm gonna make a roll for him, and then I'll let you have your second shot.
15.
Got him.
Dude, wow, I forgot how to type for a minute there. Where's the R button? 5 damage.
Oh, okay. He reaches just as he reaches for the horn, and he starts to pull it off because it's hanging by a leather strap. He starts to pull it off the hook.
That's kind of what I feel about. Yeah.
The arrow goes right through his chest. So as he reaches out, it hits it through his heart and out the other side of his chest.
Oh.
He spins around and everything falls. And feet and all kick a couple times, and then clearly he just kind of dies in the dirt there, kicking up dust. And his horse continues to graze about 15 yards from him.
Okay.
Well, that's great. You need to collect your arrows so they can't identify it as you.
So again, Kaya, you're watching this. You see this guy reaching, and then you see him spin around, fall, and he kind of bounces around in the grass, the sand, and then he dies. Or he appears to die, but he's definitely not going to blow any horns.
He's not. Yeah, he's not a horn blower right now.
That's right.
So is he dead or?
Pardon me.
Oh.
Well, he certainly appears to be. You're pretty savvy. Yeah.
He looks dead.
He looks like he is. Well, he's certainly out.
I mean, I would hope he's dead. He's got an arrow through the heart.
I'm gonna shoulder my bow and try to make my way over there to collect them. So yeah, again, so they can't be identified as from my quiver.
Okay. So as you're making your way over there quickly, or
yeah, I'm running.
Remember, this is a wide open field. I mean,
yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
Yeah, right.
Things have taken a turn.
You haven't noticed anybody yelling or anything yet, but how you have noticed that 2 or 3 of his comrades have come out of the barracks and they're all walking over to their horses.
Oh,
they haven't seemed to notice that there's 20, 30 yards away that there's a body lying there yet.
We can't be blessed with like extraordinarily beautiful, tall, thick grass right here either, can we?
Yeah, no, but you're making your way over there. If you can get there easily in a turn, you move pretty quick. Right. So you come up on him. The one arrow is broken off. He fell when he spun around and fell. The one on his back has been shoved through.
Okay.
The other arrow is broken off. Piece of that is lying about 10 feet from him. The other piece is sticking just out of his chest, just the feather piece sticking just out where his heart, over his heart. And of course, he's clenched in his hand this horn.
Right.
And his eyes are wide open. The shot in his heart killed him instantly, basically. Well, not quite instantly. His legs did twitch a little bit. Kaylin, what are you doing? These guys have come out. They're walking over to their horses. By the way, Kaylin, you're actually hidden from them because you're on the corner of the barracks. So you heard them come down the steps of the barracks and turn toward their horses while you watched the halfling walk toward the body and the post and the horse. There's a horse there, by the way, grazing. So Kaylin, you're actually hidden on the corner here from the front, and you're watching the halfling. Kaya, you are about, now at this point, 60 yards away from Kaylin. You're about 50 yards away from the body. So what do you guys want to do?
Question. Is there any way possible right now where I could carry the horses?
I'm sorry, one more time, Cody. I got part of that.
Yeah, you're only kind of muffled.
Scare the horses.
Can you scare the horses?
Can you scare the horses? Is that what you're asking? Absolutely. How do you want to go about doing that?
I want to basically hit the side of the barracks as loud as I can to see if I could just kind of distract them to see.
Get the horses to run the opposite way.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you pound the side of this, and indeed you hear some whinnying and you hear some scooching around, right? The other two elves, again, nobody else can really see this. Kaylin, you see these two elves kind of stop and they're watching the horses. They're kind of getting skitterish, but they're tied down. They are actually tied to these. So the horses haven't done much, but they are all kind of moving around. They're getting a little nervous, the horses. And the two elves that were walking toward them stopped and like, what's going on?
Row.
Alright, at that point, since I'm still hidden, I'm gonna jump out and try to get a surprise attack on them.
Okay. Okay. You come around with your polearm, I'm assuming, and you're going to go strike what? Strike one on the one on the left, or the one on the right, or the one on the right.
Which one's closest to me?
They're both equidistant. It's just one is on the outside. The other one is between the barracks and the elf. The other elf. I would say the one closest to the barracks is
the
closest.
one on the left.
So you're going to hit the one on the outside.
No.
Is that right?
No, I want the one on the inside.
Okay. And they don't appear to see you, so.
Whack.
Roll 1 die 20. 1 die 20. It's too bad you're not a thief. You would get a little backstab action there. Unfortunately, right. You don't.
Oh.
Oh!
That's how you roll that, right there.
Okay, so this polearm, by the way, that gives you a second attack. So as you step around, you swing this polearm, and it's so clean, you can't even tell that you've cut his head clean from his body. And you can roll. I'll let you roll the second attack on the other elf standing beside him. Oh, that just missed. So, you come from the outside, so it means you're swinging from left to right. You've clearly cut the head off of the one, and unfortunately, your blade, as he steps forward to calm the horses, your blade just misses the back of his head as he steps forward for the horses. However, he realizes out of the corner of his eye that his buddy's head is toppled in front and rolled in front of him, and he spins around, drawing his sword. Kaya, out of the corner of your eye, you're watching the halfling get these approach this body, and you see out of the corner of your eye, Kaylin. You hear bang, 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 and you look up and see Kaylin hitting the side, and then you see him step around and take out what appears to be at least one of these guards.
Still not my problem thing.
You're not directly associated with us right now.
I mean, I should keep control of the human, but you know.
Okay, so you're watching. You're like, oh damn, they're Kaylin.
There went Kaylin again.
Oh damn, there you go.
I'll bail him out when it gets too bad.
Oh no.
You know, who do you scold first, the halfling or Kaylin? I mean, you got your hands full. You know, who are you supposed to
exactly?
I'll admit things may have gotten out of hand here.
Okay, so Gringe, what are you doing now? So you've gone over to this body. What are you doing?
I got to get my the non-broken arrow out of him.
Okay, well that one's sticking up through his chest, and he fell down, and it drove it right up through. So you grab it, just pull it right out of his chest. Okay. There's some blood and a little bit of tissue on the feathers of this arrow as you pull it up through the back of him.
That's not damning at all.
The tip of it is in a bad shape, so this would be an arrow you'd probably have to work on the tip because it went through the chainmail, through his body. But the arrow is salvageable, right?
I think we'll probably just find a way to dispose of it later. That's fine. I'm going to put it away for now. See if I can give him a quick cursory once-over of anything obvious I would want to just snag off him and get the hell out of here.
Okay. So while you're doing that, while you're patting him down and going through his pockets, you hear... so we need to roll for initiative. Kaylin, right? You kind of hear some some barking and some noise behind you. Huh? Why didn't it roll my die? What did I do wrong?
Yeah, it looks fine. Oh, you did R/, not /R.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, that's right. We roll a 6.
Yeah, and it's just party initiative. So whoever. Okay. All right, Kalen. So he draws up, and he takes a step back in a defensive posture, and he yells in his native tongue. Gringe, you hear this, and Kaya, you hear this.
Right.
Guards, draw, help! You hear him screaming for his buddies in the barracks.
Oh,
and he has taken a defensive stance.
Suck.
Can I
So he's going to get a bonus to his AC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kalen. All right, and Kalen, it's your go. You can attack him, or what do you want to do?
I'm going to attack.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I'll narrate. Woo! Okay. So you bring this thing around over the top, and you come straight down, right into the middle of his chest. Now, part of this hits off his sword and hits his hilt, his hand protector on the sword, but clearly the top end of this blade, it makes contact. So roll your damage for me, sir. And a pole arm, I believe, is 1d6 plus 1, Kalen. Is that right? Okay, okay. He staggers back, but he's still on his feet. And again, we roll initiative. Now, Gringe,
Yep.
you patting him down. You find a sack of a purse full of coins. You don't have time to count them, but you pull it out, and it's clanking pretty good there, right? You got to find a pouch of coins, and you find a dagger. He's got a long sword belted on. He has around his neck. It looks like a ring, some kind of. It's not a ring you slip on your finger, but it looks as though it had once been a ring, or it was. Let's put it this way: it wouldn't fit on his finger. Okay, and he does have a parchment folded up in his, but it's written again. You can't read this, so if it's native, you couldn't read it. But the point is, it's something scribbled on this parchment.
I'm gonna.
And again, you heard the guard yelling, "Guards! Alarm!" You know, you hear this guy, and then you see out of the corner of your eye, Kalen hit him, and he staggers back.
Sure.
Okay, so Kaya, you now are standing there still, and you're still, Kaya, you haven't moved. You're still about 50 feet from Kalen. Actually, you're now about 55 feet from Kalen, because Kalen came around the corner and went after these guys. And you're about 45 feet from Gringe. So what do you want to do?
Okay. Could I use one of my spells on
absolutely.
The guards in the barracks? I want to use sleep.
You want to use sleep read magic? I'm kidding.
I need to move, but I should move closer first, shouldn't I?
No.
No?
Sleep is, I believe, 240 feet.
Holy cow!
I think it is. Let me look it up. Let me make sure, because this is different than Iron Falcon. So let me double check.
It's a 7 million damage cantrip.
And it does 240 feet range. Okay.
Okay.
So I need to make some saving throws here, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to make a saving throw in quiet. You don't know what's happening.
Right.
Oh, never mind. Rule: no saving throw is permitted.
Ooh.
Oh, so okay. Here's what you need to do.
Okay.
You need to roll 2 dice 6 to see how many hit dice are affected by this. So there is no saving throw. Fantastic.
And you do that by rolling hit dash 2 d6 instead of 1, obviously.
6? Okay, 6. All right, so you see Kalen and the elf that are fighting, they drop, So, Kaylin, you've fallen asleep. You see the other elf drop. You don't know about the elves inside. You can't see them, so you don't know. And Gringe, you're standing there. You all of a sudden you see both Kaylin and this elf fall. And you notice the horse on the end, closest to Kaylin, and the horse stumbles around and then kind of kneels down and then rolls over on its side. And the other horses kind of skitter away from him. They're all tied down, so the other horses skitter away from him.
What the heck happened to him? Yeah.
You don't know what happened to the you know that there's might be some inside. You don't even know, Kaya, if there are elves inside.
Oh, no.
But you do know that Kaylin appears down, the elf appears down, and a horse has
gone down. Is that the one, Arsos? Is that Arsos' horse?
No.
Okay.
He's over there by you.
I thought so.
Yeah, right. Snorting around, right? So.
Having a heck of a day. I'm going to grab the coin pouch and the parchment.
Okay. You
got
it.
I'm going to make my way towards Kaylin because we got to get the hell out of here.
Okay. So you're, and again, you can cross this 40 feet pretty quick. I mean, it's bang, 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 bang. You know, snap, snap, snap. You're there.
Cool.
Kaya, you see the Grinch stand up. You see him put something in his pockets, and you see Grinch take off toward Kaylin. What are you going to
do? Make towards Kylan to drag him off.
Okay. So as you guys both head toward this barracks, Grinch, as you're running toward Kaylin, you look up as you see the door open, and you see two elves come down those steps. And Kaya, as you start to approach, you guys are now both about 20 feet away from here. You see these two guys pour out, and they're looking around. They see the bodies. They see the dead. They see the head of one of these. They see a horse down, and they see both of you running at them.
Damn.
And they appear to be kind of surprised.
I'd say.
Right? They're like, even though they've heard the alarm from the one elf, they're kind of surprised to see you guys running at them.
Right.
So what do you want to do?
Guys.
I don't think I can put them to sleep without putting you to sleep.
Well, and you can only use sleep once per day, by the way. So you'll have to sleep before you can use that again.
I think that was your one spell for the day. Yeah.
Good move, though. It was a smart move.
Beautiful. No, wonderful. I don't think we're talking our way out of this.
I suggest running to me and trying to wake me up.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. The guy that's asleep is giving orders?
I'm going to stop and say, guards, where have you been?
Stops with him.
Okay. They stop, step back. What's happened here? What's going on? What has happened to these men?
Someone knocked out these men and killed a guard right over there.
Oh my God. You see one guy turns on his heel. He runs back up into the barracks. And this guy runs over and sees oh my God, what has happened? And then you see him beeline for the post, the same post that Arso is at.
Right.
You see him running for that post. He just goes, he's running right by you. He's coming like he looks like he's coming at you, but it's clear he's looking toward the post.
He's looking for the alarm. I should have grabbed that. I'm going to try to wake Kaylin. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, you go over and you jostle Kaylin.
Exactly.
And just
follow.
shake him.
He's groggy. He's not responsive, but he's moaning. He's groggy. So you're shaking him, but he's not coming
Smacks him in the face.
So, okay, you smack him, and it feels really good to smack Kaylin in the face. But unfortunately, a sleep spell has been cast on this man.
It's almost like magical.
Yeah, he's not hungover. He's been sleeped. So you smack him. Feels great. Unfortunately, it's not. As a magic user, he ain't going to come out of this until he comes out of this. Right?
Oh, no. What's my strength?
But it felt real good to give him a smack.
Okay.
I'm going to try to... Let's get out of here.
Helps him, stands him up, and drags him.
Yeah.
Am I strong enough to do that?
I can help you.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So the halfling's got his feet, and the only way you're going to be able to do this because the halfling's so short, the halfling's going to grab up his feet while Kaya, you've got him by the under the arms, under the shoulders, and you're backing up. Now, where are you headed, guys? Are you headed toward the horses? Are you headed toward the front of the the barracks. Where are you going with Caitlin?
Let's throw him over a horse and get out of here.
Okay.
Because we need to get back up to the tavern too.
I don't know that
without being noticed
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once sun goes down, we can try to come back to town, but we need to get away from here.
So yeah, we'll throw him up on the back of a horse. I'll tie him to the horse and ride the horse in front.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Whew. I lost you guys there for a sec.
Oh, yep. So we're throwing him over a horse. She's going to ride with him on the horse, and I'll follow behind.
Okay, so as you throw him on the horse and you glance over, you see the other elf grab the horn, wrestle the horn out of Arso's dead hand. He has to kind of pry it out.
Right.
You see, put it to his lips as he mounts Arso's horse, and he reels up and he starts blowing on this horn. And you can see on the other side of the village, people start looking around, stopping what they're doing. And, of course, the other elf comes out of this barracks just as you guys spur these horses into high gear. This other elf that ran back into the barracks comes out of the barracks and sees you guys riding off. Now, where are you riding with these horses?
East.
You're headed toward the ocean.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys spur these babies into high gear. You ride past the elf on Arso's horse that he's blowing his horn as he rides in circles, and then he spurs past you.
Oh.
Doesn't appear to even think that you had much to do with it. And he rides over to the barracks. He grabs the other elf. He waits for the other elf to get mounted up, and then they ride toward the mayor's office and blowing their horns and trying to rouse clearly the village. You guys ride down past the village, and you get onto the trail that you know takes you. Because in this week that you've been here, you've been down to the sea, you've been down to the port and see where they pile their goods into boats and ship them over to Solon, right?
Nice.
So you are headed toward that. You're on that road now. You're on that dirt road, and you're spurring toward the docks, basically. And they're not much docks. It's like one single dock that goes out into the water where they load up basically small boats with their corn and their wheat. And that is obviously distributed to the Elven Kingdom, and it's distributed to the human kingdom. They ship stuff out of here. You've learned that over the last week.
Okay.
So as you ride now closer to that, you come to a clearing where the beach now goes right or left along the coastline before you get right to the little hut and where they actually load up their shipments.
Okay.
And you see one gentleman's walking over to you as Kaylin's draped over the back of your horse, Kaya. You're I'm assuming you're riding a horse too, right? I mean, you did say that. I heard you say that, right? That
right.
You're on a horse too, Ringe, right? Yeah, okay, good. And he, as you stop there in the sand, debating on where to go because the ocean's in front of you, this guy walks over and says, "Is that the alarm? Am I hearing them blowing the alarm up there?"
Constance speaks to him and says, "Yes. Someone attacked the elves and my friend here. And my friend here is unconscious."
And he turns back to his associate. It looks like a small boy, probably 15 or 16, probably his son, and he says, "Unseko, mind the dock. I'm going up to the village." And he takes off running a path toward the village.
Okay.
So
I ask Kaya, how long is he going to be asleep?
I don't know.
Guess what? This is what I love about old school. Let me read this to you.
Please do.
So you might want to go get dinner, maybe go to a movie, Cody. Dude, you ain't wait. I'm kidding. A referee's discretion.
Oh no!
For duration, right?
So
I rolled for a number of turns. So you wouldn't know, but he will get up here shortly. He won't be asleep forever. So, but I actually rolled for a number of turns, and turns are longer than rounds. Rounds are seconds. Turns are hours.
Oh no!
Okay.
I just referenced my 5E sleep card. Duration 1 minute.
Yeah. See.
Unless broken. Unless he takes damage, or the caster cancels it, or 1 minute.
So there's a difference between 5e and OD&D.
Right? What a long way you've come.
Yes. So it says referee's discretion, and I just rolled a number of turns. So
I love it.
There you go. Very
cool. Homebrew.
Things get a lot more interesting in these old school games, right? You never know what you're going to get. Okay. So you're standing on the beach. You're on these horses. Stolen horses, I might add.
We don't have brands for.
And again, down the coast south, you know from your week in the village that what's called Unamin Temple on the Mount Mount Uman. On Mount Uman is overlook. That is the seat of the priest parliament, and that is leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues away down south. But that is deeper into the Elven country. That's deeper into the Elven province. To the left of you, as you look out on the ocean, is north. Of course, you're on the northeast coast. Is the it takes you up around to some rocky cliffs. You know that because you can actually see them get rocky. And it will take you along the coast, which eventually takes you to the River of the Devils, which leads into the Canyon of the Devils. And you know that that is the border that breaks the southern province from the northern province of the Kingdom of Sul, which is the human kingdom. Now, again, that is quite a ways, a few days' journey. But the point is, that's basically what you know is south of Phillipston, and that's what's north of Phillipston, okay? Now, that's, I mean, there's a lot of territory between the two, so.
Sure.
Right.
Well, we know before I killed that elf, he told us that Unreltor did come this direction. So, theoretically, he's got a hideout somewhere around here.
And if we can get him back,
we might be able to smooth talk our way back into not having killed that guard, and maybe we can still collect on the reward and build a guild house.
And get branded, so
Correct.
I don't get killed.
That'd be great. I would like that. Any idea of a plan that it ends with you not getting killed.
Yeah, we have to do that by like 1 a.m.
We got and time's an issue. Gotcha. Okay. So
it's only about 11 a.m. right now, guys. Right?
So we got some time.
About 10. Yeah, you're doing good.
We got some hours.
You got 12 hours. Yep.
Is there like some thick brush?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We should hide Kalen and search the immediate area for tracks or a hideout or a random gnome holding a large bag of money.
I pass along the information I gathered from Drunken Idiot.
Okay, so as you guys, so you're gonna, the nearest brush is not far up the beach. It's probably a quarter of a mile up the beach. You start to see where it turns into a little bit of brush and jungle. Not quite jungle. That's a little too tropic, but
right.
It gets more vegetation, and of course it begins to change elevation and turns into rocky kind of outcroppings, etc. So you know you can head there, and as you do turn the horses to head up the beach to this cover, we'll call it cover because that's what you're looking for.
Sure.
You hear the little boy. You hear the little boy that the man barked orders at, Un Soko, and you hear him laughing and giggling.
Because he's watching us carry Kalen around. Shoot. Unsoko. That's your name, right?
Yes.
You didn't happen to see a gnome come this way the other day, did you?
It's amazing. I've seen two little people in the last 8 days. You and 8 days ago when the dragon attacked.
Really?
Not quite like you. He was a little chubbier.
Yeah.
And a little taller, but it's just amazing.
Which way did he go?
He actually got in talked to a man here on the docks that was visiting, and then he headed back toward the village.
Oh, great! Of course he did. Wonderful. You didn't happen to hear him say where he was going, did you?
Something about meeting the contact. Something about meeting the contact. Because he wanted to buy something.
Oh dear. Okay. That's the kind of thing we could ask Unerso if someone hadn't killed him.
What's your name?
I'm Gringe!
I'm, nice to meet you, Gringe. What are you?
I'm a halfling.
Can you do magic?
I can't.
You can't do magic? How do you not do magic? You look like you're magic.
I know, it's ridiculous, really. I should be able to do magic.
What's wrong with your friend there?
He got hit in the head.
He got hit in the head. When,
so he's taking a nap.
They snuck up behind him and hit him in the head.
Yeah, that's why you may have heard the alarm going off. Yeah, it looks like someone attacked our friend, and it looks like a couple of the guards.
Oh my God! Well, I better get back to work, or my father will hit me on the head.
That'd be horrible.
Yes.
Let's get out of here too. Good grief! So back to the village. Should we just hang out and wait for him to wake up? What do you think, Kaya?
I want to know if we know of any like side routes into the village other than the main path.
The way we just ran.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you could always make a long circle around. That's not a problem. So you could go up the beach and then climb and then circle back around, come into the west side of the village or the north side of the village. That's very easy to do.
That wouldn't take us long though either, would it?
No.
Well, you could take as long as you wanted to, really.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you could do it. You could do it at a full ride, or you could do it nonchalantly. It's entirely up to you.
So it looks like we've done somewhat okay because they're not giving immediate chase. So we either wait for Kalen to wake up, then do that, or we do that now while he's sleeping.
Do that now while he's sleeping, and then when he wakes up, he can.
Okay, let's leave him a note.
You're leaving Kalen here?
Because we don't. Well, in the bush.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I was gonna bring Kalen with us and.
Well.
Hope he wakes up on the ride.
Are you staying on the horse? Because I think we should leave the horses here since we're not technically marked to ride them.
Yeah, true.
I thought we were screwed when this guy's dad questioned us. So.
Let's leave a note in Kalen's like shirt pocket or something.
Perfect.
Okay. And then you're going to do what?
We're going to kind of take the long way around to
get back into town.
Get back into town.
If he was going to buy something, he was either going to buy it from somebody he knew from the tavern, or he was going to go to the general store.
I say we go question the guy in the general store. He's been,
Let's do it.
Okay. So you guys now, how are you coming back to the village? Are you coming up the path? What do you guys want to do there? How do you want to reapproach the village?
Oh, yeah, completely, like, aloof. Just casual.
Right up the trail, like you're following this guy up, the man that ran back to the village?
Exactly.
Yeah, like we went down to alert them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you approach, you see some people scattering about, farmers and things. But you see the elves. You see that you see two of them dragging the bodies away from the barracks. It's like they're setting up an impromptu preparation for burial. You see, you don't see any other horses or elves around here. And as you approach, though, you see in the street is the mayor. He's trying to calm down some people. And as you walk up behind the mayor, you hear him tell him, They're out looking. There's we don't know who's perpetrated these acts. And he notices you come up. Oh, and turns around. Oh my God! You wouldn't believe it. Somebody has attacked the garrison. They've killed 2 elves. They've killed un Arso and un Mercro.
Oh my God! Really?
What? Have you seen anything?
No.
No.
We were just down by the docks and trying to find un Reltor.
And I can't believe before the commander gets here tomorrow, I just can't believe it. We've got to bury these men, and we got to figure this out. And then he turns on his heel and he walks back to the mayor's office, pulling with his hands in the air, fist clenched. I can't believe this is happening.
We're gonna give that guy a heart attack.
So he goes back into the And the people he was talking to have turned. They were already walking away. These are just villagers and concerned citizens as to what's going on. You're not hearing any horns, so they're not clearly blowing the horns anymore.
Right.
But it appears as if they're obviously have ridden somewhere, maybe to get the other elves that were on sentry. You don't know, but these other elves have ridden off to do something.
Sure.
You don't see them readily available.
Okay. So yeah, let's head for the general store.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's, again, only a few feet as you walk up to the general store. Again, this is the door you have to push open. It's a poorly mounted door. It kind of sits ajar, so it is something you have to kind of lay a shoulder into and drive this door open. A young woman runs this establishment. Her father had passed from an illness years ago, and her name is Unsara. And she looks up and nods at you. She knows you. You've met her before in passing,
right.
And she just nods. They're not very talkative, Unsara.
Okay. Unsara.
Okay.
Pleasant to see you again.
Yes.
Someone told us that you may have had dealings with a gnome recently.
Oh, you mean that Fiddlebump?
Oh,
God,
heavens.
It drives me mad,
no.
Fiddlebump. It drives me crazy. No. The only other gnome I've ever seen is the gentleman that was here briefly for 3 days. The one that they're asking wanted posters on. Un realtor. Matter of fact, the poster's right there.
Oh,
hanging on the wall.
Oh.
Right. He was a gnome, wasn't he?
He came in here briefly and asked about an outcast named Roger. I told him the only Roger I know is a gentleman who lives west on the borderlands of the shifting desert.
Roger asked.
And he is a legitimate outlaw outcast. Roger is not taken the brand. So he wouldn't be found close to Phillipston without potentially being arrested.
Sure.
That's the only Roger I know, and he seemed content with that information, and he left. He did buy some rations and an extra water skin.
Yeah, he was leaving.
Yep.
So I think our best. Well, thank you, Miss Sarah.
It's funny because that orc that gives me the creeps, Sata, was in here asking me that same question. Not yesterday.
Sata was.
Sata, yeah. That man gives me the creeps.
Sure. Yes, he worries us all.
Oh, he's an orc, and he's big, and he stinks.
Smells like
aggressive. Orc? Yeah, and he's aggressive. And he very often is in here supposedly doing work on behalf of the village, but it never ends up benefiting us when he completes his work.
Sure.
I do not like him.
Well, he seems like an unpleasant fellow.
Now, I think the mayor and he have dealings on the side, but I don't like Mayor Arno.
Yeah, he's something else, isn't he?
Yep.
So, I bid. Well, thank you very much, and I think we should head out.
Okay, Cody, are you with us, Cody? You're having dreams of lopping the heads off of elves. In this amazing dream, you are carving through your enemies, right, like it's nothing. And then you wake up and you're lying in the bushes, staring up at the sky.
Okay.
And as you kind of get you feel like you're hungover. I mean, your head you're groggy. You know, you got sleep in your eyes. I mean, this feels like you've been asleep for 10 years. You feel so good, and you can't quite shake out the cobwebs. But as you sit up, you realize you're kind of in the bushes. Every direction you look is bushes. So you've been drugged into the deep brush. As you sit up and look around, you've got your weapons. All your stuff's about you. And all you can hear is the ocean, and you can hear some seagulls, and you can hear some noises, but you don't hear your friends about. You don't hear any talking. Hello.
We're here.
Hello.
So what do you want to do, Cody?
I'm just gonna look around to see if anything's stolen.
Nope. Nope, you got everything. Everything's there, it's intact. There's some blood and hair on the blade of your polearm. So you remember, oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, right.
Alright, so now I'm gonna see if I can find any tracks from them going
Tracks?
away from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you check yourself out and pat yourself down, you find a note that's been stuffed into the pocket of your cover, and you pull that note out and unfold it, and it says in your common tongue that you would understand, it's scribbled by, you recognize the hand, Kaya. It says, "We're in the village. Come when you wake up."
Okay, so I go back into the village then.
Okay, so it takes you about, you get up, dust yourself off, and you realize you're quite a ways from the path, but you head off, and you're walking up the beach, up the trail. It takes you about 7 minutes or so to walk up into the village, and as you do, you see it doesn't look like much is amiss. You do notice that there's a couple of bodies lying over by the what used to be the alarm pole. Nobody's attending those bodies; they're just lying there. So you look over and you're like, okay, right, there's those guys. Somebody's cleaned that up, and you see your friends come out of the general store. You see Gringe and Kaya come out of the general store.
Okay, guys. So, what just happened? I mean, I was fighting, but then I kind of passed out. What?
That was my fault.
Kaya?
But let's not discuss that here.
Let's not focus on that. That's in the past. What we have to do now is we need to head out of town because Unreltor has left. He's made off with the money. And he was asking about a man named my own handwriting, good grief. La Rohan?
Roger.
That's even what it looks like after you say it. Yeah.
Roger. Roger.
La Roger.
It's a clever way of saying Roger, right? Roger,
love it. La Roger.
La Roger. No, that would be Runeslinger's game when they're using names like that. That would be Ivan and Runeslinger, right? Yep. Philippe and Roger, right? La Roger.
So yeah, we talked to the shopkeep, and apparently he's head off to meet up with La Roger, who's apparently a market outlaw. Unlike us who just wander around killing guards.
Why did you guys do that anyway?
He was gonna tell Unsara that we were that we were also looking for Reltor, and I didn't want him giving us away. Looking back on it, hindsight's 20/20. It was a bit of an overreaction.
You couldn't have,
I don't think so, but okay.
Moved things over and not killed the elf?
I mouthed off to him and he ran away on his horse, okay?
As you guys are having this conversation, Gringe, you notice the people that are walking around, they sound like they might be hearing something that might be a little strange to them. This conversation in the street, right?
Right.
I mean, nothing. They aren't alarmed, but it's almost like they're curious as to what did you just say?
What are you talking about? Well, I would assume I didn't say, but I would assume that we were talking in normal common that they wouldn't understand.
Ah, exactly. Gotcha. Okay, so I'll accept that.
No, that's a pretty big player liberty after the fact to say that.
No, actually, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So, yeah, it makes sense. You're going to talk in something you hope they don't understand, right? So it makes sense
that if you're talking to me, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
that is very true. So
we
good
have
call.
to talk.
Good call. So they're still looking at you funny because you're talking in this crazy language.
Weird, crazy language. Sure. Maybe we should leave town before we talk further.
Go hide up in the safety
Wait!
of one room.
Hold on a second. Let's just go around the side of the building here real quick because I need to count something. And I open this coin purse and see what's inside.
All right. There's about 20. As you count this out, there's about 27 copper.
That's not a lot.
You see about 5 silver, and he has 15 gold pieces. 16 gold pieces. Sorry.
Okay, Kaya.
You do have the necklace with the ring on it that was hanging around his neck.
True that.
Okay.
So, 50 gold pieces?
I'm sorry, Cody, I didn't hear you.
16.
16 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, 16.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna pouch that for now.
Okay.
Does this look like any sort of a necklace that would like just be like a piece of jewelry, or am I gonna walk into this? Do I feel like this is something very personal that I'm going to incriminate myself with by trying to sell?
It has writing on it. As you look at it, it looks almost like it's would have been a children's finger ring, or maybe a female's finger ring. You know, a ring that a female or a child would have worn on their person. And it does have something inscribed on the inside of the ring, but of course you can't read it.
Right. It's in Sulian. We could try to sell the ring.
We could try to sell the ring, but does everyone know he wears the ring?
Yeah, it was under his.
Or did he keep it secret?
I think in my mind it was on his under his clothes, under his armor. Why don't you guys wait out here? I'll go try to smooth talk the merchant and try to get a good amount of money for this ring, so we can get you branded.
Okay.
And you're behind the tavern, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know, of course, not far from you, about 7 feet, lying in the mud, is Un Joel, who's snoring away. So he's not woken up from his drunken stupor.
You bought him the good stuff,
right?
Why don't you go search him while I go?
That's kind of what I'm considering doing.
Awesome.
Okay, so Gren, you head back over to the Unsara, the general store owner. Is that
correct?
Okay, and you approach her, and she again looks up and says, back so soon?
I am. In fact, I found this ring. Is it worth anything to you?
She takes it from you and looks at it. Well, it's a children's ring. Well, I could give up 5. I could give 5 gold for this.
What does it say on it?
She's trying to read it. She gets out a glass. She pulls out a magnifying loupe, and she's looking. It's in Sulin, but it's so worn. It looks like it might have been a date, maybe a name, but it is worn. It's heavily worn. It's beautiful craftsmanship. It looks like onyx. Well, it looks like Canyon of the Devil onyx, which means somebody at some point gave many lives were lost to get this.
Oh dear.
But 5 is all I could afford to pay you for it, and it's conceivable when I ship it up north, it could get more, and I would certainly be willing to pay you more once I receive that. But all I can give you for it right now is 5 gold.
Well, she's not going anywhere. She's a shop owner. She's got roots. Well, certainly, absolutely, I trust you on that.
She says, "Let me write up a receipt, and if I get back more than 125% of what I've given you, I will give you a 15% of that."
Wonderful.
So okay, I will try to make up a difference. It's fair. I usually give a quarter of the value of something, and I honestly don't know, but I'll give you 5 gold for it now. And so she scribbles out a receipt in her hand and spins it around and hands you the quill.
She should work in Barovia. I signed it.
Okay, so you signed it, and she spins it around and says, "That will do. That's I can't read it, but I know who you are." So she folds it up and she sticks it. You see her stick it underneath her counter. You don't know where, of course.
Right.
And she counts out 5 gold, and again gives you Umanine gold, which are slightly larger than the gold pieces from your country, and slides these to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great day. I'm going to make my way back towards the tavern.
Okay, and now, Kaya, while he's doing that, you were going to wake up Joel. Is that what you had said?
I was considering searching.
Oh, go right ahead. Okay, as you approach him and you kneel down to search him, he's snoring, and he smells. This is a man that hasn't had a bath in maybe 12 years, right? Aside from getting caught in the rain, maybe. So he reeks. He's got ratty clothes. In his pockets. I'm sorry?
Oh, never mind. Just continue.
Okay, as you go through his pockets, you find he does have a purse, and in that purse, as you jingle it, it surprisingly has, for a man who plays this copper game and appears to break even all the time, it's a shocker. He has 7 gold pieces in this purse, way more money than you would expect this guy to have.
Right.
Takes the 7 gold pieces.
Okay. Okay, and he grumbles and kind of snorts. And smacks your hands and rolls over.
Get back to sleep, young one. Groovy.
All right, then Gringe, you come around the corner, and as you do, you see Kaya stepping away from him, counting her coins.
Okay. Tell her, Kaya, well, that smells awful. Let's go inside.
Chuckles and follows inside.
Okay, so as you go into the tavern, the far right back corner by the stairs up to your rooms, you see Fiddlebump is standing on top of that table, and he's waving his hands, and he's got about 15 people huddled around, some on the floor, some sitting at the table, and he's leading them in some kind of crazy, invented, evangelical chant or song, and they all have their tankards, and they're all drinking. And he goes from his preaching on the pulpit outside to the preaching on the pulpit in the tavern. That's how he's been conducting his life for the last 7 days.
Oh,
and as you do, you pass, he nods at you, and he winks at you. You get the feeling that he isn't ever drunk. He's very much in control of himself, but he does not let anyone else know that. So you get the feeling he isn't so drunk all the time.
He knows how to play a crowd.
Right. And
sure.
So you can either sit. The tavern's not real full. It's full of groupies. It's full of these guys that follow Fiddlebump all over the place. So he's beginning to get a collection of followers, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind
It
of...
won't be long before he has 90,000 of these things.
SOB. I kind of wave Kaya and Kaylin like we should go to their room.
Okay.
Okay.
So up the stairs and to their room. You guys are now safely behind closed doors in this room.
Groovy. Kaya,
and you notice that
gold.
only one bed. You notice that only one bed has been slept in.
Oh.
And you Gringe, you raise your eyebrow to that fact.
Well, goodness gracious me. In this day and age. That's how you get half-elves, ladies and gentlemen. So I open my pouch. I'm sorry. I open my pouch, and I say, Kaya, you're going to be okay. I've got 21 gold for you. Go get yourself branded tonight, and then we'll get out of here and go find this guy.
Cool. Thank you.
After I've deeply offended you, my apologies.
So, do you want to rest, sleep until 1 a.m., until the knock on the door? What do you want to do?
I'd say so.
I'd say so.
How late are we going tonight, by the way, Jason?
Oh, I don't know. However, we can go till 10, 11, whatever you guys want to do, or we can stop whenever you guys need to.
I have actually probably ought to call it. I got to do dinner.
Okay,
I
great.
gotta stop because I gotta be up to.
Perfect. This is absolutely perfect. I like 1 hour to 2 hour sessions, to be honest with you. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So next week we will pick up with the the midnight rendezvous with the Un Aklo, right? Okay. Awesome, guys. That was fun.
Cool.
Cool.
Cody slept through some of it. You know, when you're